wanted to discuss is, or I want to discuss with you is, why do you think people these days are less generous? What do you think has impacted Canadians or is stopping them from being less generous these days?
I love that question. My
Mhm.
answer is because there's nowhere really to learn about giving.
Yeah.
So I don't actually think, if I were to quibble with your question, I love your question, but if I were going to quibble with the words, I would say I actually don't think Canadians are becoming less generous. Like, I think generosity in society is still plentiful, or maybe even abundant. But what's not happening is Canadians are not participating in charitable giving at the levels they used to. There's a very consistent decline in the number of Canadians who are participating in charitable giving, which means giving to charities. And there's also a decline in the amount of money, for example, as a percentage of income that they're contributing. And I think that that's because there's nowhere really for them to learn. And what I mean by that is, like, if you have this nature of generosity, like I believe all humans are born with, what happens if it's not nurtured? Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you birth a kid and they're athletic by nature, but if you don't like let them kind of try soccer and play hockey and play basketball and try gymnastics and go on hikes, like, you know, they're not going to become an athlete.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I actually think it's an exposure thing, it's a modeling thing, and it's a lack of experience thing. Because there are still lots of pockets in Canada where giving thrives. By way of example, religious communities in Canada give 4 times more than non-religious communities.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Without getting too deeply into that, why, it's because they do learn about giving.